Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award winning singer, songwriter and entertainer Robbie Williams. So before we go into this episode, just a little disclaimer about it.
Yeah, we did actually record this last summer, August 2021, with Alan and Sarah.
So pretty much a year ago from when it's going to be released.
Yeah. So if it sounds kind of dated anywhere, like we say anything that isn't relevant now, then that explains it. It's also, it was only the second one that we ever recorded.
Yeah. So the style might be a little bit different, and there may be a few old references there. You might hear us talking about weather, rain, although that happens in the summer.
Yeah.
Here. So yeah, just a little disclaimer on this episode, but it is a cracking episode.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
Enjoy.
Today we'll be looking at Robbie's Take the Crown album and the intimate ballroom shows he did in September 2012. Today we've got our very good friends Alan and Sarah with us. Hello.
Well, you say we're with you, actually, you're with us. Welcome to Cassadag.
Thank you very much. It only took us 6.5 hours to get here, but it was well worth it.
And you haven't brought the best of weather with you, but
No.
I forgive you.
So
Thank you for allowing us to stay in your humble abode.
It's our pleasure.
So we met Alan and Sarah in a queue to see Robbie, of course.
It's where we meet most of our friends.
Yes.
Yeah, in queues, yeah.
For the Take the Crown tour at Manchester Etihad Stadium on the 21st of June.
2013.
Yeah, it
Just
was.
across the road from Asda.
2 days before my birthday.
Yeah.
Ah, was it a birthday treat? No.
Right.
You did have a birthday banner, didn't you? that
Oh,
day?
big one.
Yeah.
52.
Wow.
Did you that day, yeah? That's right of you. I wouldn't have remembered.
Yeah, so since then we've been on lots of adventures with Alan and Sarah. We've
We
been
have.
to Krakow together,
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
Vienna,
Vienna.
Yeah.
Vienna,
Vienna was good.
Dublin.
Dublin. I love Dublin.
We've slept on many pavements.
Yeah.
For many nights.
Yes.
Football ground in London somewhere once, I think. Where was that?
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea
Blue
football
Bridge.
ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've done lots and lots of Robbie concerts with Alan and Sarah.
Hanging about the back of buildings. Very dodgy areas of London.
Yeah, some very dodgy areas. Tell me how you became Robbie fans. What made you like Robbie?
She did.
I was already a Robbie fan when I met Alan.
Yeah.
So the first gig that Alan came to was 2006. And he only came because it was my birthday. I'd already got tickets booked. And he was never going to go to another gig. And here we are now.
Ah.
Well, yeah, I don't think I'd ever said I wouldn't ever go to another gig, but
You
I
went first.
wasn't really bothered.
Yeah.
It was a
Robbie
one-off.
Robbie was a bloke that made into that and done quite well for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had other friends that were going, but Sarah said to me, "Oh, look, I play this Nebworth video. And, oh, I want to be that girl there at the front." And I said, "Well, we'll just go and queue and get to the front then." "Oh, it's not as easy as that. Yeah. Oh, you have to sleep out to get to the front." I said, "Well, it's Groundhay Park." I said, "Get a tent, we'll go, make a night of it."
Yeah.
And it was the start of my fun queuing, really. There was a man there, and he queued all night for his girlfriend or his wife, wasn't it?
Yeah, his wife.
But he stayed up all night talking, keeping everybody else awake.
Oh.
And then sort of morning, and his wife turned up, fresh as a daisy. I could have strangled him, but it was fun. And then, yes, Rob intrigued me when he came up on stage, and I just thought there's something about that man that isn't quite right.
I remember you saying that to me before.
I did. He came up on stage, and I thought, well, he hates us.
Yeah, and that is what he
He
apparently
hates
was
us
thinking, wasn't he?
for
at the
being
time?
here. And I was saying to her, I said, he hates us. And she's going, "Oh, it's Robbie, he's there. He's look, he's right at the front." And I'm going, "Yeah, but he hates us. What's wrong with him?" And so then I read his books and his backstory, and I realised that if that had been made, I'd probably killed myself. I won't be here. I won't be here. And yes.
Wasn't there a famous interview line where he said, I feel like a cunt and there's a load of cunts watching this cunt?
Yeah.
I can't remember what video that was from.
Yeah, he
Why
did
are
say
all you
something like
cunts
that.
watching this cunt?
Yeah.
But he's a brilliant showman, but obviously he's got that flaw running through him somewhere.
Yeah.
Back in the day, then it was a big, wide open, wound that I like to think we've seen healed over the years.
Yeah.
And I think, you look at him now, he's a different person to what he was back then.
Oh, definitely.
And it was fun going on that little journey with him, really.
Yeah.
And the more, we went to Milton Keynes after that, didn't we?
And that began our Robbie journey together, didn't it?
And I decided I quite like going in these queues and meeting lots of strange people and lots of lovely people. And it sort of snowballed from there. And then he went quiet, obviously. He went chasing UFOs in the desert and went off the scene for a while.
And then came back.
with Take the Crown.
Well, reality killed the video star first and then Take the Crown.
Yes, it was.
Well,
You're right.
progress in the middle.
I know, but
Yeah, but you've basically...
But we're talking about Take the Crown. So
yeah, we are.
I just forgot about those other two.
Before we move on, I guess it's worth saying that we've had a lot of queuing experiences together.
We have.
And we've said to a few of our other guest friends, you go through thick and thin together in the queue, and we probably spend more time in the queue. Well, we do spend more time in the queue than we do actually in the gig itself. So,
And I must admit, there has been times when I've said I enjoy the queuing experience nearly as much as I enjoy the actual concert.
I don't.
I don't either.
I know you'd lot talk, but there have been queues where there's just been spectacular queues for me. I've had the absolute time of my life before I've even set foot in there. But it just all builds up to that.
I think it's also worth saying that Alan keeps the queue quite safe as well.
That's
It has been known that
With
Alan
you.
tabard. Yeah, I'm assistant, I think, but Alan has a yellow jacket, unofficial queue control.
Not always allowed to wear it, are you?
No.
Some venues have said, no, take that off.
That was the Etihad.
okay.
That was after that.
But we make sure we look after people and that things are nice
Carrie
and
always
calm.
comes along and laughs. What have you been up to? Oh, no.
And Sarah, I'm interested, how were those first couple of gigs for you? How was that first one with Alan? Do you remember it well?
I do remember it.
Your birthday,
You
wasn't it,
weren't really watching. It was strange because I could tell that Alan knew something wasn't right with him. And he was
Yes.
watching it in a completely different way than I was watching it. But
You were fangirling.
yeah. Definitely. It's nice to do it together though. Well, like you two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got a favourite song, Robbie song?
No.
Or a few?
I think there's lots of songs in there.
Yeah, they change.
Changes up on
Yeah.
mood.
Change all the time. It changes with every tour,
Yeah,
definitely, and probably every show.
yeah.
She's the one
To a
special, even though
Yeah.
it's.
It's not his song.
No.
I like Heart and I, which I've never heard live.
Yeah,
Right.
one day, hopefully.
One day, hopefully, yeah. Next Under the Radar, maybe.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, not like the others is a special song to me, but
We'll come to that.
We will come.
Yeah, we'll come to that.
Hot Fudge,
Probably
I think,
not.
is probably one of your favourites. It's
Hot
like-
Fudge was definitely.
Oh, it's a
I
great song.
got asked in telling what my favourite song of that show was, and it
Yeah.
was Hot Fudge. I just loved it for some. I don't,
Yeah.
I love me and my monkey. It's
Oh, that's amazing.
ain't it? And so it depends what sort of mood I'm in.
And do you have a favourite memory or moment that comes to mind? Or are there too many?
That's
Too many.
it's too many.
Too
Yeah.
many. Talent.
Far
Talent's
too
got to
many.
be special.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The talent competition has got to be.
You see,
It was a special time, not just Robbie, but
yeah,
Yeah.
the people
Yeah.
and the time we spent there.
Yeah.
that long weekend
Yeah,
was
was special.
just it was off the scale.
So we'll hear more about that later on when we talk
Yeah.
about the tours. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll dig into that
In the
a bit
next
more.
episode, I think. So, should we talk about Take the Crown?
Yeah.
Take the crown.
we'll give out some facts and figures first before we get into depth on the songs. So it was released on the 5th of November 2012, and it debuted at number 1 in the UK, and was the second time he had a number 1 album and single at the same time. The first being Swing When You're Winning and Something Stupid in 2001. It sold 445,500 copies during 2012 in the UK. By 2016, it had sold 519,585 and been certified platinum.
And Take the Crown was the 36th global best-selling album of 2012, with sales of 1.2 million copies. It's actually Robbie's 12th best-selling album in the UK and his 10th worldwide. And it was also number 1 in Croatia, Holland, Germany, Greece, Ireland, Switzerland, 2 in Italy, 3 in Denmark, 4 in Australia, 5 in Norway. I won't read them all out, but it was, did well pretty much around the world.
Can I just give you an interesting fact that we actually bought three copies of the album between us.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other day when we said, we better do some homework and put it on, we couldn't find one of them. I know I sent one to Ireland, but...
So Robbie said, after the Take That reunion, a busman's holiday, a break from my career which re-energised me in many, many ways, I wanted to come back with a massive solo album. My main priority was to write what I consider, and hopefully what the world would consider, to be hits. I want to impress on people that I'm fully in with this one. I want to dominate the charts. I want to take on the world. I want to be a top pop star. I'm re-energised, and it's called Take the Crown for that reason.
Yeah. And so the album was mostly written with Australians Flynn Francis and Tim Metcalfe, who he met through Ida's brother, Dylan. And Dylan met them in a bar, and he was writing with them for his own band called The Connects. And Robbie asked to meet Tim and Flynn, and within 8 days, they'd written the album.
But he did write Life Through a Lens in 7 days.
7 days,
apparently.
Yeah. Apparently he said that they breathed youth into the situation and naivety and hope. I found it to be very fortuitous blend straight away, more so than anything I'd ever done in the past. Robbie said it was like writing with them on their very first album.
Take the Crown was produced by Jack Knife Lee, real name Garrett. Garrett's an Irish producer who has worked with U2, R.E.M., The Killers, Snow Patrol, Block Party, One Direction, Taylor Swift. Robbie said, my A&R man introduced me to Garrett's work, and the symbiotic nature of us two coming together worked straight away. And Garrett said, I think any artist who's going to have longevity needs to try stuff. That's the bit of Rob that I'm attracted to, a fearlessness about being big, about connecting with people, and he's one of those artists of which it's very hard not to be a fan of. They recorded the album at Garrett's house in Topanga, which Rob enjoyed as it wasn't a normal studio and felt like being at home.
We'll just pretend we knew all that.
So will I.
I remember Take the Crown as being his comeback album.
Yeah.
I know you've said that.
No, because he did Progress before.
And in and out of
reality killed the video star.
But
he didn't tour
me,
that one, so...
No, Take the Crown was his comeback album.
Mm.
Yeah, he pretty much smashed it.
Because it was a real... It felt like a big album, didn't it?
Yeah.
So Robbie said, I'm nearly 40 and there's only so many times you can go round on this merry-go-round with the full support of every radio station, every media outlet and every TV company before you start being yesterday's news. I'm on the cusp of yesterday's news. It's a kind of warning to me. Take this seriously, promote it seriously, don't be half-assed, don't be lethargic, tour it, give yourself the best chance. And at least you did it on your own terms, whether it went down the pan or not. It was on your own terms and you gave it your best shot. Being a bit hard on himself there.
As he always is.
Yeah, true.
But he did. I think like Alan said, he smashed it. He gave it his best shot.
I'm glad he did that.
Yeah.
If he hadn't done that.
Yeah, probably still wouldn't be.
Yeah, now talking about this, would he?
And then he went on to say, Lucy,
this is a really important album for me. Every album is important, but this album definitely shows me where I am in today's society. in pop culture today definitely will pave the way for my future and which avenue that I will turn down.
I'll always remember Nick Grimshaw, right at this point.
Yeah.
Nick Grimshaw said Robbie wasn't relevant anymore to Radio 1. Hated it. He's just retired and he just
Yes,
left
yes.
for it. Yeah, good.
He's not anymore either.
I hated him ever since.
I didn't like him anyway.
Yeah,
No
never
particular
really
reason apart
liked
from
Grimmy
that.
very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when he said that.
Yeah. It's just, I remember it. Yeah. I remember it when you're reading these words. I remember hearing or reading.
Well, this is it. We're going to bring back the memories for you. So.
it's-
The album features backing vocals from indie group The Bell Brigade. The drummer from R.E.M. plays on it, as well as Troy from Queens of the Stone Age and Justin Melvin Johnson, who plays with Beck. So it's quite a mixture.
Yeah.
So we've got some reviews of the album at the time. Music Week said, Take the Crown is the big, brash, confident Robbie Williams pop record that his fans have been longing for but maybe didn't dare expect. If it had a subtitle, it would be In Case You'd Forgotten. Not wishing to denigrate the art of the record executive, but Island may as well have chosen the lead single by chucking a dart at the inlay sleeve. They couldn't have missed, because there are no misses, just hits, huge pop hits.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh.
Good review.
And that he did get a good review.
Yeah.
But he did. They put the work in, didn't he?
Yeah. It did feel better than Reality Killed the Video Star to me as well.
Yeah.
Bigger pop songs.
And
Yeah.
he didn't dress up as a bunny, which is always a
No.
bonus.
It wasn't too zany, was it? No. You're right. So The Guardian gave the album 4 stars out of 5 and said that you end up with an album that, had it been released as the follow-up to 2005's Intensive Care, would almost certainly have been the vast success that Williams wants it to be now. It's not going to win over anyone who doesn't already own at least a couple of Robbie albums, but that isn't what it sets out to do.
That's a fair comment for the
Yeah.
Guardian, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's- yeah.
And Robbie's thoughts on the reviews. Critical reaction to this album is not that important to me. It has been in the past because you're trying to impress your more intelligent older peers, and I listened too much to them and ran myself in circles and been dictated by the critics my career, really. When I've been most successful is when all the credible, the Qs, the Selects, the Mojos, etc. have hated it and the tabloids have loved it. I would like that to happen again this time. It would be not a pleasure, because you never really want to read about your work being crap. But if I can get the tabloids on side, then I'm happy. Fortunately or unfortunately, they have the most sway. Mojo have always been very kind to me. I think it's the most serious out of all the music stuff. The scratchy beards have been kind to me over at Mojo. But I'll take my risk with the public. I love that quote.
Yeah.
I do think of them as scratchy beards as well.
So he was obviously reading a lot of the reviews and things at this time, because often he says he isn't looking, doesn't look. But I think
He always
he was
reads
well
them.
aware of what was
How do you
being
know?
said.
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
know? I just, yeah.
Absolutely. But it must have been a nice time for him to see all this critical acclaim.
Yeah.
In his personal life, he was now married, and Teddy was born days after the Ballroom Shows in September. The day after Teddy was born, he was back on with the promo recording the When James Corden Met Robbie interview. This was broadcast on the day before the Live at the O2 show aired in November and featured footage from the Ballroom Shows. He did promo everywhere for this album, including switching on the Christmas lights in Oxford Street on the 6th of November. And he also launched his Farrell Clothes collection at Selfridges, and he did a signing at HMV Oxford Street. And I believe that Alan and Sarah,
We might have been there.
you might have
We
been
were
there.
there, weren't we? That's where we met a lot of our now Robbie family.
Yeah.
Down that dark alley.
Yeah.
We drove, how many miles is it? 260 miles
Yeah,
to
at
London.
least.
Not guaranteed to get a wristband, but
Yeah.
we took the
But
chance,
we
didn't
pretty
we?
much were, weren't we? What were we, about 5th or the 6th in the queue?
So you had to get a wristband for the signing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the wristbands were given out in the morning,
Yeah.
and then you had to go back
You
in
went,
the
we
evening
went then.
to...
You went to the switch on
signing.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then went back after the switch on.
Oh, what, the Christmas lights?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the same day. I
Same
didn't
day.
know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did he
Yeah, it was
behave
bonfire
himself at
night.
the switch on? Did he say anything
Yeah.
strange?
No,
or was
it
he
was good.
well
Because
behaved?
is it Capital Radio I did it for?
probably.
Probably, yeah.
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 Ah.
Yeah. And it was...
So that was your
It was
first
good day.
time meeting Robbie, I take it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apart from on stage, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, signing the album.
First time did he shake my hand? Can't remember if he shook my hand.
Do you remember what you said?
No. I just looked at him.
Did you go up together? Or did you
No,
go
we
one
went
at
up
a time?
separately.
Ah.
So I went first, and I think he wrote to Alan and Sarah, "You're the ones on our album," because he'd done She's the One at the Ballroom
Oh,
gig.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did he
Then-
remember that? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He did?
Yeah, I'm sure
Wow.
he did, yeah.
Well, it wasn't that long before.
No,
No, it was
yeah.
only a few weeks before.
Yeah.
And I mean, it all impressed me that he was sat at a table signing everything. And when I went up with my album after Sarah, he stood up and shook my hand.
Wow.
And I thought, what's he standing shaking my hand for?
Oh, bless him.
Bless him, yeah. That was nice.
You at all?
And
He didn't want to be towered over.
no, but he was like, yeah. He did, yes, he obviously recognised me from
but not Sarah.
talking to me. No, I think I don't.
That's a story.
Yeah,
Right.
just don't. Stop it now.
I'm with Al.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll talk about that later. And I can't remember. He said, "Who do you want this signing to?" And I said, "Well, I don't really. Just sign it." You know, and he probably thought at that point it'd be on eBay,
Yeah.
but we actually ended up sending it to one of the girls in Dublin.
But missed out on a meet
She
and
missed
greet.
out on a meet and greet.
Oh.
Oh,
There was 3 of them, and only 2 could go. And I sent my signed copy because it wasn't signed to anybody in particular. I sent it to her. Didn't
Oh, that's nice.
I? And yeah, it was a lovely day.
And you got a Robbie
But,
cardboard cutout as
We
well.
brought 2
Yeah,
Robbie
2.
cardboard
Oh, we
cutouts
had
home in a
some
mini.
fun. We had
From
some
London.
fun.
did you
How
sit
did
them in
you
the
fit
back of the
them in?
mini?
Well, he had his feet
only
in the
got-
corner at the
just
front
fitted,
and his
didn't he?
head in the corner at the back.
But taking him on the tube and
We took him
through
on, yeah.
King's Cross that night, we still got some funny photos of that. And,
Took him on the escalator.
people were very receptive of it.
Were they?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Was it only like the first 20 or so that got them?
They had a
Yeah,
great
no,
pile of
it
them.
was only the first 30 or so that got them, yeah.
Seemed to be a lot to me, but
I remember seeing a
It wa-
photo
I
of
didn't
you
think
all
it was that
holding them up
exclusive.
in the shop. Because my cousin used to work quite senior at HMV, but he couldn't get me in to the signing.
right.
No.
Yeah, you should have come with us. I had a great night that because we were up this side alley. Everybody that came in the middle of the night came to the front door,
Yeah.
and I couldn't sleep in nowhere. Oh, there was that dog there, wasn't there? That couple behind us brought a dog, didn't they? And I just kept walking around the block all night and picking up the people from the. Oh, yeah, for Robbie signing, yeah. And it was the first 100 people, wasn't it? That got
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the
First so
wristband.
many, I don't know.
And the dog.
And
I
I
didn't know
kept
dogs were
saying-
allowed to go into
I
cinemas.
kept saying, you're here for Robbie? Oh, you're 102, 103. Oh, what a shame. Oh, no, we're not. That's we were out of corners, about 10 of us.
That was the first time we met Jenny Hyatt in that queue, wasn't
Jenny,
it?
there was
And we
Kate.
turned up and she turned around and she said to Alan, "Are you here for your wife?"
Yeah. But I mean, really good friends from that very first queue. But I remember the security guard that they sent
Right.
to stand. He came with he had a Crombie overcoat, didn't he? and a walking stick, a real old gentleman, type of thing. I thought, well, if something kicks off here, you're not bloody good, are you?
Oh, no.
I'll be in. Me and dog. Give me that. We'll take him off.
Classic. So should we talk about the first track on the album then?
Yeah.
Be a Boy.
What, he walked into HMV? That was playing when he came in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When he did
Really?
the signing. It always reminds me of HMV.
Every
that
time
song.
we hear it,
Every time that
Be a
song.
boy. She goes, HMV. Oh.
Take me back.
Yeah.
It is amazing how certain songs really,
Yeah, yeah.
the memories really attach
Yeah.
to them, don't they?
But you see, if you would ask me what's the first track on the album,
Yeah.
I'd have said, hey, wow, yeah. Every time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the
Because that
opening
was
to
the
the tour.
concert.
Ah, of course, yes.
But
Does
that's
feel
just
like
because I'm crap. Be a boy, yeah.
So the first song, as we've just said, was Be a Boy, and it was released as the third and last single from the album as a digital download only, written by Rob, Tim and Flynn. It didn't even chart in the UK as a single, but reached 11 in Belgium, 33 in Albania, interestingly, Lucy,
That would have been
and
petrol
52 in the Netherlands. It was inspired by the fact people told Robbie his career was over, which is referenced in the lines, "They said it was leaving me, the magic was leaving me, and I can make this last forever." He said, "For me, it had the same sort of emotional resonance that a New Order track would. It became a song of empowerment for me. My career's gone a few weird places over the past few years. I came for your money and I came for your girlfriend. I'm taking both and leaving. While I do it, I'm going to do it with a panache and I'm going to be a boy." That's what the song's about. What do you think about that, Lucy?
Are those some of the lyrics?
No, they're not the lyrics. No,
I think
that's
he
something that
I think he
said.
just
All
said
right.
that,
I was thinking, I
kind of paraphrasing what the song's about. Yeah.
No.
But yeah,
So Rob says that he never decides the track listing, like which order the songs are going to appear in. He leaves that to his management and A&R person.
Should leave it to us.
Yeah.
fan vote, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Whereas with Be a Boy being the opening track, he hopes that it grabs you. Hopefully it makes you go, "This ain't over. I'm no joke. I'm back to reclaim what once was mine." It's a big, warm, electronic sort of meditation, really. And I think that Garrett did a great job on it, as he did on the whole album. So what do we think of Be
He
a
takes
Boy?
himself a bit seriously, doesn't he? Get over it. It's a song, Rob. Get over it.
I love Be a Boy.
I love it as well.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
It's a shame it wasn't a bigger hit.
Yeah, I think so. It could have been.
It's a great song. Yeah.
That's the whole digital thing.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Just ruined the charts.
Yeah.
I think it's like a great anthemic pop song. I think it's I think it's a good opener to the album.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
a good one.
So yeah, some of the lyrics that I like, 6 feet tall, maybe more, bigger now than before.
Yeah. Well, it was bigger as well then, wasn't it, at that
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All built up, muscly kind
Yeah.
of, but also bigger in
Yeah.
terms of
I'm
how-
back.
Yeah. And having just come off the Take That tour as well.
Yeah.
And they said it was leaving me. The magic was leaving me. I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
See, I remember that
we
bit
don't.
really well from the
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think everyone shouts that line out.
Yeah. I don't think so. That bit,
Yeah.
I'm not going to sing it.
We keep saying that on the podcast, but we keep kind of singing lyrics
Yeah.
sometimes.
They said it was leaving me. They said it was joy. I like that because it's basically saying, what am I trying to say there?
Exactly, Lucy. Yeah, I
You
completely
could
agree.
say I'm half your age, because you are half Alan's age.
Why do you have to bring that up? What? Is that on the script? Can it?
No, it's not.
No.
I did say you could ad lib. That's allowed.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You also said you could cut a bit out, and that's a bit.
Let's go.
But that's I'm half your age and live twice your life, and I don't sleep alone tonight. There you go. That's the full lyric. But I'm not half your age.
Well, nice. I know.
When you're young, you hope to see them carve your name into the street. I like that. Reminds me of the fact that he's got some streets named after his
He has,
songs
yeah.
in Stoke.
Actually,
yeah.
I don't know. That line, I remember him singing that at the autumn. Because
What?
he was like doing that with his his name.
Mhm.
You can't say that on the podcast, can you? But I'm doing that with my hand.
You're inscribing it. With sand.
And then all of the boys could have been someone. The time did come, but now it's gone. It takes a big man to be someone.
To be someone.
To be someone.
Yeah.
It's basically he's outlived a lot of the other boy band people that were around. I think that's what that means.
It's very true. We were talking about that on the car on the way up. weren't we?
Yeah.
That he certainly has outlived a lot of boy band members who
Well, them all really,
Yeah.
them all. Yeah. It's
apart from
normally just-
maybe Ronan Keating, but he's nowhere near as big as Robbie.
allegedly. What else do you think, Liz?
He does. I think the word satellites is in there somewhere. When I was rereading Feel
Be a boy.
in Be a Boy, apparently that the word
Sarah's
satellites is
looking
in
at the
there.
lyrics. Is it?
Chris Heath said that when
Yeah, and
he's-
bounce your words off satellites.
that's it. When he's writing songs, Chris said that quite often he will just throw words in there to fill up the melody while he's making up the song. And quite often satellites is a word that he throws in a lot. So that's probably how the song Satellites ended up happening.
Yeah.
So that's Be a Boy.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
You move on to gospel?
Has that got satellites in it as well?
No, I don't
But it
think
may have
so.
started with the word satellites and then they may take it out.
Yeah.
So you'd never know. I'll have to ask Rob.
He won't remember.
No.
Chris Heath might know.
So Gospel was written by Rob, Tim, Flynn and Garrett. Robbie said, Gospel is about a few people in particular. I've tried to make it as generic and open-ended as possible so that everyone can relate to it. There's 2 girls in particular, and it says I was 16. I was 14, actually, but 14 didn't roll off the tongue as easily. I was in Great Yarmouth, and I'd just had my first proper sexual experience, not the virginity loss. There's this girl, she was 16, I was 14. We were in her caravan. We had a dalliance. It was brilliant and magical.
Dalliance. It's not
Not
a
like you
mid
hear
word.
very often,
Well,
is it?
mid-word, that is. Dalliance.
And the next day I went to the caravan and her family had gone. I was sat on the step melodramatically looking back at it, thinking what could have been. I could have got to 3rd base that night. And then there was another girl from Sandbach near us that used to come and visit us in the park. And she was our age, but girls mature a lot quicker than boys. And you could tell that she was into me, but she wanted a boy with a car. And I went for it anyway, and it didn't come off. And I was treated much more like a younger brother. I suppose the song Gospel is about sex, the promise of the future and girls, and when the hormones kick in. And then what I didn't realise until I was doing this research is that Lissy, who is featured on Losers with him, does the backing vocals on Gospel.
Yeah.
So at the end of the song, which Robbie describes here, there's this bit of craziness at the end, and it just goes into a different gear. You know,
Yeah.
the bit where she's like warbling, I'd like to say. But in a
he's
really
spinning around on
amazing
his
way.
crown.
Yeah.
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 That's Lissy from Losers doing that bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've all learned
Interesting.
something.
Yeah.
You learn interesting facts in this
It
podcast.
does.
Ah.
And random ones as well.
So
wait.
Random interesting.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that our favourite lyric from this song is the same.
Yes. With the last 2 lines.
Yeah. Remember, Alan, you're looking a bit blank.
I'm still concentrating on dalliance. Well, it'd be a lot better on Love Island, wouldn't it, than doing bits. Oh, have you had a dalliance?
Italians. I haven't heard him say that again, actually. I think that's the only time he used that word.
So yeah, the last 2 lines of
Yeah.
the song.
Go on,
Drink to
tell
those
us.
who wish me well, and those that don't, go fuck yourself. Amazing.
Amazing line.
I hope this podcast's going out after 9 o'clock.
It's got an explicit.
It's an E.
Is it?
Yeah.
But yeah, we've all sung that.
Especially when we talk about Reeboks, it's an E, don't worry.
We've all sung that line a few times to him, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or with him.
Especially Under the Radar.
Lucy,
That was a good moment, wasn't
You,
it?
you reckon this is one of his best ever lyrics?
On this,
Oh,
on there,
On this?
on that bit.
On-
Well, yeah, that
Oh.
bit. Those 2 lines are one of his best ever lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It's a strong message, isn't it?
It is. It's pretty direct, yeah.
I'm with him on that one.
Kind of almost want it at,
You
your,
know-
at your
you know,
funeral
I-
or something.
I quite accept that not everybody likes Robbie Williams
Yeah.
as much as we do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But so what? Go off. Yeah,
Just go fuck yourself.
yeah, go on. I mean, listen to Barry Manilow. Go on. Yeah, I'm not bothered.
I think it's a great song, particularly when you're in a stadium and
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody. Well,
It's a great live
maybe
song.
to us it feels as though everybody's singing it, but certainly we're all singing it at the front, and
Yeah.
there's just
Yeah.
something really
Yeah,
powerful about
from
it.
2,000 people that matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Them ones.
In the bear pit, as he calls it.
The bear pit, yeah.
And I've got some misheard lyrics on this song.
Ah.
So apparently the correct lyrics are, I'm embarrassing and limited with thoughts I have repressed, but I'm 16 and I love you and I haven't lost it yet. So I always thought it was something along the lines of, I'm embarrassing and limited until I held a breast.
Yeah.
I get that, yeah.
Sounds right.
You sure that's not right?
That's probably what he meant.
Well, that's considering it's about sex. It's kind of
Yeah.
what.
That
and
makes
it-
more sense than his
Yeah.
lyrics
So
or Tim's.
I was shocked when I looked at the lyrics and found it was that.
She'd have read lyrics.
It goes quite fast, doesn't it, that bit of the song?
We're all going to sing that now anyway, forever.
So, but another lyric site I was looking at said, I took another line. It says, I took a photograph in my mind, but I don't know where it's kept. Turn out there, never see the limited force. I have a breast. Which is even
Once again.
worse.
They're the proper lyrics.
They're not the proper lyrics. No, that's some other lyric site that says that those are what the lyrics are, which clearly they're ridiculous.
The lyric sites are quite interesting when you start to look at them.
It
I
does
think
make me
some of them are
laugh.
computer-generated text, and there's some very strange mistakes, but they do make for funny viewing.
But I did always used to have to skip the last 2 lines of the song in the car when
Turn it
kids were
down.
little.
Kids
I just used to skip to the next
Yeah.
track at that point.
Yeah.
Pretend that the song ended earlier than it did.
So I wonder why it's called gospel. That's my question to you all. I don't know.
Yeah,
Considering
no
it's
idea.
about sex.
I think it's because that's
experiences
what it's
like
called, man.
I know, but
God, yeah, I didn't know it was going to be this deep.
but what's
Oh,
gospel got to do with
What's
it?
called
I
gospel.
want to know.
Yeah.
Sarah, come on, you must have
I have no
theory on
idea why
this.
it's called gospel. I wouldn't even like to guess.
Let me be your gospel.
Let me be your gospel. Done that.
And the meaning, as Keith Lemon would say. Of
Oh,
all
hang
this.
on a minute. Let me give me Google. Oh, come on, what's gospel?
You don't need to Google it.
I don't know. I don't know. You pray to, I don't know. Gospel is religious. It's a religious thing.
Let me
You're a
be
gospel
your...
choir, don't you? And you sing praises.
I guess people talk
yeah.
about according
So
to the
isn't it?
gospel of, yeah. And do you both like this song?
Love
Is
it.
this one of your-
Yeah,
It's a favourite live, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was highlighted. Yeah, highlight that. Sure. Well, one of the highlights. Sure.
Right.
I was pleased he sung it under the radar
Yeah.
because it's obviously he was playing songs that he hasn't played much before, and he has played that a lot, but it's such a good track to really get the crowd going.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's move on to Candy, written by Rob, Gary Barlow, Tej Olsen. It was the first single to be released on the 29th of October 2012. Tej Olsen is a Norwegian DJ, songwriter and record producer called King of the Summer Jams by Mixmag and was 17 in Rolling Stone's magazine 25 DJs That Rule the Earth, apparently. In the UK, despite BBC Radio 1 not putting it on their playlist, Candy gathered over 10,000 radio spins before the official digital release. It later achieved more than 30,000 spins on UK radio. Candy became his first number one in 8 years, the last being 2004's Radio, his 7th solo UK number one. It became his fastest selling single in the UK since Rock DJ 12 years earlier, and with 137,000 copies sold in the first week, it was the fastest selling male artist single of the year and the 3rd fastest selling single of 2012 overall. The song remained number one on the UK singles chart for a second week, shifting a further 90,000 copies. It was the 22nd best-selling single of 2012 in the UK with sales of 503,000. Wow.
So
Impressive.
the magic was definitely not leaving him.
him. No.
In June 2013, Candy became Robbie's second biggest hit in the UK after Angels, with sales passing the 650,000 mark, making it platinum. It was even number 112 in the UK end-of-year chart in 2013. It was also number one in the Netherlands, number 2 in Ireland, the Czech Republic, Italy and Lebanon. It went 2 times platinum in Italy and was number 3 in Germany. It was also gold in Austria and Switzerland. In total, it has sales of about 20,000 physical and 1.5 million digital.
I liked it. It was a good pop song, but
Yeah.
when you say it was nearly as good as Angels, I mean, it just wasn't, was it?
No,
No.
I mean,
it was the video
I can't get
that
the,
made it as big as it was.
Do you think?
It
Yeah.
got a huge amount of attention, didn't it?
Did he really ride a horse in the video?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did he?
yeah.
It wasn't camera tricks or
No.
anything. He actually had a.
He did ride a horse, and as many fans might know, this is where the famous chainmail that Robbie has worn a few times on Insta has debuted.
Really?
On that very horse. Yeah, there you go. It's an interesting fact.
That is an interesting fact. I don't follow Insta, so I probably haven't seen it.
We did say
It's a
something about
pink
the
suit,
video,
wasn't
didn't
it? That to me. Yeah. Good song, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you like it, Sarah?
Yeah. It was exactly what he needed when he came back.
Yeah.
I think Candy was perfect.
Did the job.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did the job.
Did the job,
Oh,
exactly,
it did. Yeah, without a doubt.
I think it probably brought him a bit of a different audience as well. I
Yeah.
think probably more people bought the record or downloaded it.
My memory is that they played it at the infant school disco,
Yeah.
which I'd never heard a Robbie song at the school disco before, but they all loved it, the little tiny kids.
I can just imagine them all leaping about to that.
Yeah. Actually, Robbie said, I was like, this is so poppy, I need a hit. This sounds like what hits sound like, I think, because I'm not sure anymore. There are other songs on the album which may have been a bit cooler, a bit more contemporary, grown up, smoother, but I haven't got time to muck about with a risk, and I think it was the song that was the least risk on the album to be the big launching pad for it.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, definitely.
He got it right.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, it's like super catchy lyrics as well. They just sort of stick in your head. And you can hear that opening.
Hey, ho.
Yeah, exactly.
So Candy was nominated for Single of the Year at the Brits in 2013, but lost to Adele's Skyfall.
Well,
Yeah.
Candy, I've got to give it to Adele.
Adele and James Bond.
You know, I love Rob, but nah.
I think
Did he
Rob
lose
would-
to Adele or
just
did he
pips
lose
it.
to James Bond?
Yeah, well,
Or both.
it's an amazing song, Skyfall.
Yeah, it is.
But it did win Best Video of the Year at the 4 Music Awards. The video featured model Kea Scodelario. It was filmed in Spitalfields, East London, directed by Joseph Kahn, who also directed the Backstreet Boys' Everybody, Britney's Toxic and Stronger, Kylie's All the Lovers, and absolutely loads of A-list videos. I loved the video.
It was a really good video.
It was a good
really
video.
good video.
It really was a good video.
So for those fans that can't remember what the video's about,
He has a pink suit on.
Pink suit.
Pink
on.
suit, riding a
Sarah,
horse.
what do you remember about
Rides
it?
a horse.
Riding a horse.
Keeps hurting himself.
Yeah. He's
That's
saying
it.
himself in
Run
lots
over.
of different ways.
It's run over.
Lots of stunts.
Yeah.
Lots of bright colours.
All protecting
Chainmail.
that model from being hurt, like he's her guardian angel.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. That's the Guardian Angel theme.
Has
isn't
he
it?
got the wings on the horse
Yeah.
at the end?
Yes.
Yeah. Not the only video
No, the
where
wings,
wings
were
appear.
on the horse.
No,
that would have been
on him.
Pegasus.
He was wearing
Oh,
wings.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, he also said, it's a summer song very much in a similar vein to Rock DJ. It's the story of a girl who thinks she's the shit. Her name is Candy, and I've slept with her. Some songs take an age to write, and some songs just fall out of your mouth completely formed. And you don't have to think about it. I don't know why that fell out of my mouth and out of my brain at that particular time. It just did.
Mm.
So, talking about him writing it, the lyrics, people always think they're meaningless. But actually, one time on Instagram Live, Robbie did go through what all of the lyrics mean. And
We listened to this.
did you?
Yeah, at the time. I didn't
So you
agree
do
with
go
all
on
of it.
Insta then?
I think he made some of it up. So carry on. Let's just have
We'll
a listen
never
to
know,
what it
will
says. Let's have a listen.
I did think, I tend to agree with you, Alan, but we'll see what he
Seemed
said.
a bit
later.
improv, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I was there to witness Candice's inner business.
Candice puts up a front, but she confided in me everything she battles with. I was like a therapist to her.
She wants the boys to notice her rainbows and her ponies.
She wants the boys to see this front and be beguiled with it.
She was educated but could not count to 10.
Her parents spent a lot of money on her education, but she couldn't be taught.
How she got lots of different horses by lots of different men.
She's very attractive, and she used her wiles to gain material wealth.
See, up to now,
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
That sounds plausible.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll check in with you in a minute and see if
Yeah,
you're still
there's a bit
feeling like
coming
that.
up at it.
And I say, liberate your sons and daughters. The bush is high, but in the hole there's water.
Let your kids go out there and be themselves. It's going to be tough for them, but in the journey there'll be many gifts that they will learn about themselves.
In the hole there's water. Actually, that probably makes a bit more sense than last time I heard it. Yeah.
Liberate your sons and daughters. Yeah.
There's a hole and there's water.
You can get some when they give it. Nothing sacred, but it's a living.
It's another way of saying, what are you going to do about it, hey?
He'd given up that bit.
I think he
He'd
made
given
that
up.
bit up.
Yeah, he'd struggled with the hole in the water bit, and then he gave up.
Hey ho, here she goes.
She's just whimsical about herself, knowing things about herself.
Either a little too high or a little too low.
She's either too much or not enough, or she sounds as though she's got
That thing.
that thing. Question mark, question mark. I think he pulled a face at that point to say he himself wasn't sure what that meant.
Yeah.
Got no self-esteem and vertigo
She's got very low self-esteem, but can also be pompous.
because she thinks she's made of candy.
She'd eat herself if she was chocolate.
Yeah.
Hey ho,
Oh,
here
here
she
we
goes. Either a little too loud or a little too close.
She's both loud and too close.
There's a hurricane in the back of her throat.
It's a bit.
I was stoned. It
It
made
made
sense
sense
then.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
So, yeah,
I thought
okay.
that was rude. I thought it was a rude.
I always thought it
reference.
was rude as well.
When
I'm sure he said before that was a rude reference.
And yeah, and she thinks she's made of candy.
It's provocative.
Do you want more?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
only a
let's,
bit more.
Let's do more. Sarah, do you want more?
Go on then, give us more.
Ring a ring of roses.
She's like the Black Death plague if she comes into your orbit because she is toxic at times.
Whoever gets the closest, she comes and she goes, as the War of the Roses.
If you get into a relationship with her, it will be like that film, The War of the Roses from the 80s.
Well, I haven't seen that film, so it makes absolutely no sense
I
whatsoever.
haven't seen it either.
We'll have to go away and watch that. Her father beat the system. Her mother was a victim.
She had bad parents, basically.
By moving bricks to Brixton.
It's a drug reference. Moving bricks of cocaine. He was a drug dealer.
Really? I always thought it was about builders. 'Cause
Yeah, so did I. So
I
did
always
I.
thought it was loads of money. You know,
What, from Harry
Enfield?
Harry Enfield and builders in making
Yeah.
loads of money by laying bricks.
In Brixton.
Oh, he always brings it back to drugs, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Here we go. And learning how to fix them.
He learnt how not to get fingered by the law.
But listen, I've just built that shed out there, and I can tell you, laying bricks, it's not easy.
I believe you.
There's
You're
an
a very
art.
skilled craftsman, Alan. We know
I
that.
know, it's to it.
Liberate your sons and daughters. The bush is high, but in the hole there's water. As you will, shall be the whole of the law.
Do it anyway. Make yourself feel good about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
No.
And if it don't feel good, what are you doing this for?
Self-explanatory.
Exactly.
Very logical.
That's the takeaway line, isn't it?
So we feel as though we've had an education there from Rob on
Yeah.
Insta there.
So other awards that he won at this time included an Ivor Novella for outstanding contribution to British music, Icon of the Year from GQ, Hottest Male at Virgin Media, Best
that.
International
We'll go with
Male
that one.
from The Sun, and Best International Pop Stroke Rock at the Echo Awards, which I think are in Germany.
Yeah, not a bad year for him, was
He's
it?
doing all right then, wasn't he? Wow. And this was another song that was really quick to write, apparently.
Yeah.
I think I remember reading or hearing about it somewhere where he said it. I guess with
Probably
writing...
took him longer to explain it.
Yeah.
To Gary? I bet
To Gary
was
and
like,
to Tej.
okay.
Todd.
Okay. So let's go on to Different. This was released as the second single from the album on the 17th of December, written by Rob, Gary and Garrett. It only got to number 64 in the UK, 8 in Belgium, 31 in Germany and 37 in Austria. Physical, it sold about 10,000 physical and 140,000 digital copies total. I'm kind of always surprised that it didn't sell more because he did release it as an EP with 4 extra tracks.
Did he?
So, yeah. You'd know about that, Alan, because you remembered those songs
An EP?
very well. An EP.
I haven't seen an EP since about 12. EP.
People still do them, apparently, but digitally.
But clearly
Oh,
that didn't help
digital.
with the sales, did it?
No.
Even though some of those B-sides are very good, which we'll come to in the next episode.
Yeah. We'll look them up. We'll look them up for our next episode. What they were. Well, this time will be different.
We'll have a listening party, it's all right. Robbie said Different is the most personal song on the album. It's the one that I've been most connected to in an emotional way. Relationships with friends past and friends present. It's very difficult to talk about to be honest, because I wouldn't want to give too much away, and talking about it in the press and the media is not the right place for it, and might light a fire that might catch on, and I wouldn't want to hurt anyone or upset anybody, because nobody deserves to be hurt or upset. It's just an unfortunate situation. It's the great hope of the second single, Variety. A lot of effort went into this song, which is a very personal statement. And Garrett said, I think when Robbie gets a song right, it's the vulnerability mixed with the bravado that makes it so compelling.
I'm just fascinated to know who this song is about after that statement.
Yeah.
I kind of always thought it was maybe about Gary, because he wrote it with Gary, and then maybe it was about their relationship. But then some of the lines in it, I'm not sure, like tremble at the sight of your majesty. So then I got to wondering whether it was about Nigel Martin Smith, but yeah, he's never been friends with him and couldn't care less.
Yeah,
so it's clearly not him.
Yeah.
So,
well, does it have to be about one person, or could it be a mixture of
could be
things that have happened in his life with dominant people that didn't want to let him be who he wanted to be? Or as he said, he's not going to tell us.
Praying to a God I don't think exists. That's that. Yeah. We've all been there, haven't we?
Yeah.
When I look into your eyes, something deep inside me dies, because I know you won't get better. You'd rather be right than be loved. The only thing I understood, nothing's ever good enough. Yeah.
And Rob also said, Gary did some backing tracks and let me sit in the studio and sing down a mic until we got the melody that sounds nice, and maybe catch a lyric here and there. It's a buzz because he's the archetypal respected songwriter, and I've always been, in my own mind, punching down here, going to recognise me as a talent, and to be sat with Gaz on the same level as him, and him treating me as an equal, is a good boost to my spirit and ego. I managed to get something off this time around that I didn't the first time around, because we had different objectives, but the objective seems to be the same now. Make as good music as possible and have fun doing it. Makes sense. So you had a good time writing that with Gary then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
It is, isn't it?
After all those
That
years.
with Gary at the O2 though, didn't he? At the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. Just before Gary came and shook my hand. And just,
Did he?
yeah, he did on his way out.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were lucky you got Gary. We just got Guy. We only went one night. But more on that later. Can you remember the video for Different? Probably not, because it hardly got any airplay. Well,
Not at all.
well,
Let's
in
go and
it,
watch it.
Rob's conducting an orchestra playing music for a film that also features Williams as the lead role, a gangster character struggling to prevent his strained relationship with his wife boiling over and affecting his job. He is seen arguing with his wife, wasting a pint of milk she had especially bought for him. Rob said, in it, I play a very nasty man who must have very low self-esteem to get himself in that much trouble and work himself up like that. The ladies look beautiful. It was a real fun one to film. It took around 3 days to film each of the separate sequences, but the supporting cast were exceptionally great. I would love to make videos like this all the time. So it was directed by Andrew John Whiston, otherwise known as Wiz, who is described as one of the greatest ever British music video directors by the BFI. He's worked with Massive Attack, Oasis, Marilyn Manson, Jamiroquai, and loads more. Many of these videos, in addition to featuring the song and the performers, also follow a running narrative and may contain a political or social message.
Yeah.
Once in a band himself, Wiz has also directed concert films of live performances by Suede, The Manics, and Primal Scream.
And actually, if you're going to watch the video, Alan, there is a making of video as well. And in it, Robbie goes,
Well, let's not get carried away. Let's see how good the video is first.
he says, I think he's quite excited to be doing some proper acting in it. You know, he seems quite pumped up in the making of it.
He likes that.
I think it's going to be a very classy video. You know, he's got good director and everything on it. But
But what do you actually think of the song?
The song, yes. Let's get to the song.
Not that keen. No. I like it.
I like it.
I do like it. I like it.
But just not one of your
following
favourites.
Candy
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
different,
That's true.
wasn't it?
He did perform it on Top of the Pops on the New Year's Eve special. But that's about the only performance he did, I think, on telly.
Yeah.
I thought he was trying too hard. You know, I thought he was laying a bit too much out there at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, are you pop? Are you a pop star?
Yeah.
Or are you
Yeah.
are you trying to give us deep and meaningful lyrics and that? Just be a pop star. Be an entertainer. That's what you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was dramatic, I think.
Yeah.
I'd describe that song.
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of orchestral and moving.
Yeah.
It was different.
It was different. The video was
Definitely
different. The song was different. So, Sarah, shall we move on to shit on the radio?
Oh, no.
Shit on the radio. What a song.
Shit on the radio.
I love that song. I
You always
Yeah.
have loved that song.
Yeah.
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 I think it's typically Rob.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Saying it like it is.
Yeah.
It's just shit on the radio, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
This is another one that was written by Rob, Tim, Flynn, and Garrett. And Rob said, ironically, I'm the shit that's on the radio. I mean it in a good way.
It seems like a pop nugget. It isn't an attack or my comment on what's going on radio-wise, i.e. not being played on Radio 1. And I think it would be the most limp-wristed attack on modern radio that there's ever been. It's just an Americanism that fell out of my mouth, and it was supposed to be just the middle 8, and it was. There was a different chorus. The song was good, but it wasn't good enough to be on the album. Then Garrett got hold of it, remixed it, took out the chorus, and made the middle 8 the chorus. It's just an Americanism. See what shit's happening today, what shit you've been up to, etc. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it so that it gets played.
Right. It's ace.
basically-
Like I said, it's just,
Yeah.
to me, it's just Rob.
I think that this was Raver that he's talking about, because Raver's got shit that's on the radio in the middle 8.
Right.
And he has said before that Raver came before shit on the radio. So I think that's what he's talking about. Raver, which was on Under the Radar Volume 1. And personally, I prefer Raver to shit on the radio.
I prefer Raver.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Do I prefer Raver?
You seem to enjoy it at the Under the Radar.
Under the radar gig.
Is that the one where you get off the speaker? Is that?
Yeah.
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 I
With
like
the glow
that one.
sticks.
That's
Yeah.
better.
It
That's
went
a better
crazy under
Yeah.
the radar gig.
Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause personally, I'm not that
Excellent
keen
song.
on shit on the radio. What do you think?
I quite like it. Although, I mean, if you believe that story, it put it in a different light.
Nah,
'cause it didn't.
he's made that up.
He's just
He
made that.
made that up. So people didn't get upset with him.
But I have always wondered what it really means.
Then,
So
yeah,
maybe
what it
that's
means.
one version of what
Yeah.
it might mean. I think, the word shit in America, they use it quite liberally, don't they? I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
It's
it
sort
was
of-
like the time in Amsterdam. I'd been there for a week, and somebody said, "Do you want some shit?" I didn't know. I didn't know whether it meant sex
different-
or drugs.
different
I
kind of
just
shit.
really didn't.
There's many, many types of shit, Alan. Okay, so there's many, many different stories as to what this might mean. Yes, okay.
This is another song that I always used to have to skip in the car because
Yeah.
the swearing. The kids were like
Yeah.
It's a shit
1
too
and
many times.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you listen to it that much now?
No, I quite often skip it.
Skip it.
You're just
Sorry
used
to say.
hitting that skip button.
Yeah, but I listen to it more now than I used to.
Yeah.
I think I remember Rob saying at some stage that this was the kind of music he wanted to be making.
Yeah, no, but he wanted to make rap at some point, didn't he? So
Well,
let's
and
take
electronic
that with a
dance.
pinch of salt. We're still waiting for his latest offering.
Electronic
The
dance.
electronic dance, isn't it?
EDM album, yeah.
Yeah.
Waiting for that.
Yeah, well, we'll wait and see.
Maybe by the time this episode actually airs,
With
he
a
might have
bated
already
breath.
released that.
Yeah,
We might be there.
It's going to be released in Berlin in his art gallery.
Yeah.
Don't you remember?
yeah.
Okay, next song.
All That I Want. Written by Rob, Tim and Flynn. All I Want. Thinking about the housewife that's a Robbie Williams fan and has been a Robbie Williams fan forever. Putting it on and thinking, I've got a chance. Did he say that?
Yeah, that's what he said.
He said
He
that.
did.
He did say that. That's what he said this song's about.
So he thinks it's about housewives thinking they've got a chance with him.
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
That's me and
That's
Sarah.
me.
Yeah, that's why.
That's what he means.
So he wrote this
But
song
we know
for
we
you?
don't. We know we don't have a chance.
No.
Wow.
I think I got more of a chance.
So, okay, so this might put it into context
All
a
right,
bit.
yeah.
Robbie also said that I'm from the Nigel Martin Smith school of boy bandness, where we weren't allowed girlfriends, and the minute you do, your career would be over. So there's still bits of that floating around in my head, and it's not a cynical tool to make it any other way. It's just 50 Shades of Grey, Reader's Digest, Ladies Chatterley's Lover, and all of the above. I did mention to Garrett that I'd like to make a modern day kick in excess, and maybe that's the road that we both thought we were taking on that song. But it's about sexual desire, sexual frustration, sexual naughtiness. It's a lustful song. What do you reckon, Lucy? Is it a lustful song?
Yeah, definitely. I've got a misheard lyric on this song. So, feel the sin of your flesh. I always thought it was centre of your flesh.
He's looking now to see if he knows it.
I think it was the sexual desire, sexual frustration, sexual naughtiness. Alan suddenly grabbed the lyrics and said, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, Matt. Yeah. I thought there was something I'm missing.
So you'd agree?
It seems to me it's a song about encouraging a married person to be unfaithful with him. That's what I take from it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's had many married people in his time.
How's it come across to you, Sarah? What do you
Yeah,
reckon?
exactly the same as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it sounds a bit like a sort of Human League song. Like, I get why they say in excess, because I guess they're quite kind of, are they 80s or 90s? Early 90s, early 90s. Sort of feels like a 80s kind of song to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds a bit 80s, yeah. If you wear that dress, you are the one, apparently.
And I want to tear your clothes off, baby, but you'll be homeless in your heart. Don't really know what that means.
I've just got next to that. What does that mean?
I think, does that mean he'll just hurt her? Because
is that the lust part? So
Yeah.
it's like sexual lust. And
but
then,
at the end of the
then there
day,
won't
she'll
be
just
anything
be,
in it.
yeah,
Mm,
it'll just be sex and then he'll be gone.
yeah.
But that happened a few times.
More than a few.
Do you have
Yeah, we
anything
don't
more
like
to
that
say
song.
about
You
all
don't
that I
like this.
want?
Okay,
No.
we'll move on.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
Hunting for You,
I quite like
Yeah, let's talk
love
about
this
hunting
song.
for
Yeah.
you.
written by Rob, Tim, Flynn and Garrett. Garrett said, "There hasn't been a band that has taken up the INXS baton, and I don't know why." Robbie said, "I wanted it to be a standing on the ramparts, hair blowing back, wind machine moment of tonight I'm hunting for you. You know, it fills its boots. It's another 80s moment, which is basically all that I seem to be trying to recreate is me in the 80s. And this song's epic. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, that's all he's over. I mean, yeah, well, we all like to go back to the 80s.
Yeah. I'd rather go back to the 90s than the 80s.
But yeah,
I was too young in the 80s.
I know, well, I'm older.
Why is it such a good song, do you think, Alan and Sarah? Keen to understand what you think about it.
Nice, simple chorus.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, yeah.
Tonight, I'm hunting for you. Do you know what I mean?
Tonight I'm hunting for you. Well,
Yeah.
You say it's simple, but
Lucy's already
It is.
laughing. It is simple, but for some reason, for many, many years, I had a misheard lyric there, even though it's called Hunting for You. I thought he was saying, tonight I'm horny for you.
End of the day, same difference.
And I
Isn't it?
think
Yeah.
that all the concerts we went to,
I'm
where that was
horny.
played, that was what I was singing. So if you
Horny,
heard me
so I'm
singing that,
hunting. Horny hunting. Interchangeable. It's fine.
I like the line, "Everything I like's illegal, seductive,
Seductive,
addictive,
addictive."
immoral,
Yeah.
corrosive, destructive." I feel like it's a bit sort of like a U2 song. I
Yeah.
don't know why. It's got, because it's so big.
yeah,
And it's quite guitar-y, isn't it? Kind of just strong.
it is. It's a big, big, epic song.
Where have we heard it live? Where did he
Did he do it under the radar?
radar? Yeah, it was under the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Another classic Under the Radar.
You just said that. So he played 2 songs off Take the Crown at Under the Radar.
I can tell you that.
Lucy has an extensive
Huh?
spreadsheet here that she can tell you.
Yeah, it's quite sad, but it's so much easier to just have
Oh,
it.
We did gospel.
He did gospel and Into the Silence. Oh, and Reverse.
So he didn't do Hunting for You?
He didn't do Hunting for You. No. Where did he do it?
I was going to say.
tour?
Pretty sure we have heard it live somewhere.
No.
No?
No. He hasn't played it.
Oh. So he hasn't played it live, Lucy?
I feel like we have heard him
I
sing
feel
it,
like
but-
we've heard it as well.
But it's
Maybe
not.
in your dreams, girls.
We'll have to check on that.
Another one for the next Under the Radar.
Yeah, definitely. The One-Eyed King, he stole my mind, and I let him.
Yeah.
Yes. True.
Do we need to go into that?
In
I
the
don't think
gutter.
so.
In the
It's
gutter again.
fairly
Lyrics in the
self-explanatory.
He would put some spin on it, though, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He'd tell, oh, no,
Yeah.
it's about
It wouldn't be what you were thinking.
the king of us loves mad but bad, and he got poked in the eye with a stick, and so he had one eye. Yes, Rob.
I like the bit at the end where he sings over himself, where it's, you can waste away in fashion. And then he's also saying, tonight I'm hunting for you.
Yeah.
That's my favourite bit
Yeah.
of the song.
Good song. Good, strong song.
So shall we move on to Into the Silence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alan's getting
Some
excited.
excitement in the room. Written by Rob, Tim and Flynn. Robbie said, without a shadow of a doubt, you are going to bump into people who are going to fuck you up. It's about a bunch of cunts. Actually now being okay and going, hey, you bunch of cunts, you upset me. It's all right. It's my favourite song on the album. Probably won't be a single and probably won't be played live.
Except he has played it live.
Thank you for
now.
letting me
From
say
our
that.
song,
bit.
hasn't it?
Yeah.
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 So he
So-
has.
Yeah, that was a special song at Under the Radar. That.
Ah.
It
And
was-
at the dress rehearsal
And the dress
as well.
rehearsal, yeah.
Did it with us, yeah.
Yeah, he
at the
did.
end.
The last
No,
song
but
of
I've
the
been
dress
drinking
rehearsal.
at the
Yeah,
dress
so we'd all been drinking at that point. It's like the only Robbie concert I've been to where
Yeah.
I was drunk. Because we were at the back.
Yeah, doing the conga.
So why is it so good? What makes it such a good song, do you think?
You tell me.
I'd really like, there's something about the intro, kind of reminds me of U2 and like some of their really epic guitar intros. It's like
Yeah.
really just, I don't know, there's something just really, it's just a brilliant song. It just feels
Yeah.
epic. I don't know, this.
I've said I love the way it slowly builds at the start. So it just slowly builds up and up as the song goes on. When karma reaches you, I want to be there just in case it needs help. I
Yeah.
love that.
Mint line.
Yeah.
Lovely line.
Yeah,
Brilliant
good
line.
line.
Brilliant line.
Yeah.
And at the outro where it's just Rob's voice saying into the silence, it's killer, I
Yeah.
think.
It is.
And the really high pitched bit at the end, which he has hit when he was
Once.
singing it live. Twice. The 2 times he's done it. When karma reaches you, I want to be there to catch that fall, get down beside you and watch you crawl. How does it feel to be alone down there? I wonder whether it's about, I know I say it a few times, but Nigel Martin Smith.
Yeah. That crosses my mind
Yeah.
frequently when I listen to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Because-
deserves all the
yeah,
karma.
We all know.
Yeah, so he said at the Under the Radar gig, this is the song, as in for the hardcore fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all agreed this is the song, and he played it instead of Angels at the end, which was a nice way to finish.
It was a brilliant
It was.
finish, Taggy. It
Yeah, it
was.
was.
Yeah. Yeah. Special.
I love how it really focuses on his voice at some points, and then it's like really full on with strings, and then with drums. It's just all different elements all happening at different times.
Yeah.
Classic.
Special song.
Yeah,
Especially for the fans, I think.
Yeah.
Because for anyone that might not understand, Rob doesn't often finish a gig with a song other than Angels.
yeah,
And so,
Never.
so for the fans who mostly like Angels, but, you know, always want to hear other songs,
yeah,
it was a nice way to finish.
yeah.
Yeah, very memorable.
Okay, so let's move on to Hey Wow Yeah Yeah. Yeah. Written by Rob and Boots Ottestad. We think his first name is Per Christian. Robbie said, I pressed play and went, oh well, that will start the show then. And it did.
And it did,
Yeah.
as Alan pointed out.
It's very full of tension, very exciting, very dumb, very rock and roll, fuck you. So Boots Ottestad also wrote One Fine Day, Come Undone, Get a Little High, Berliner Star and Do Me Now with Rob. He's originally from Norway and moved to Nashville, USA. He's also worked with Paramore, Genevieve and Tim McGraw in his own band called The Getaway People. So yeah, I thought this was a great opener for the concerts when you
Yeah,
came
well.
down, especially at the
On
stadium.
the zip wire.
The zip wire.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. And the clap your hands bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Take me back. Take me back.
I know.
Yeah.
Luke and Chloe always used to get really excited in the car when this came on. And Luke would say, "It's the clap your hands song, Chloe." And they'd clap their hands. They wouldn't be seen dead doing that now. Bless them.
No. But it's such a fast-paced, energetic song, isn't it? I mean, I wonder whether he actually had it as an opening song in mind when he was putting it together, because the energy it creates on tour is just amazing. Or maybe that's just us, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be just us.
Could be just us. We are slightly biased, of course.
But I think if the dance album was kind of songs like this, I think it would be a pretty good
Mind
album.
you, I mean, just before that song, didn't they play Candyman?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, and we were just excited about that. So,
Carl, you've got a good memory remembering that.
oh, yeah.
Let's move on to Not Like the Others.
Yeah. Written by Rob, Tim and Flynn, Robbie said, when you're in a relationship, whether it's about sexual boasting or it's being in a relationship with someone that you know, my wife's not like the others. Forget about the sex thing. Just on a relationship terms, this person that I'm with, I love her to bits, and she isn't like anybody else. If you're in a relationship, that's the way you should feel. And I think that's the way that relationships definitely start out anyway. So I'm hoping that a lot of people can relate.
Yeah.
So I think,
That was the first song I listened to and thought, he's wrote that about Ida.
yeah,
Right.
definitely
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was.
That
I think there was one on Reality Killed the Video Star.
There may have been, but that is the first one
Right.
that I
You felt right.
Right.
He's definitely written that
Yeah, about
his wife.
yeah.
And you really like this song, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Can you tell us a little story about this
No.
song?
That's a whole new. Yeah. I mean, it was from the O2 gigs. It was one of my favourite songs at the O2 gigs.
Yeah.
It was one of mine at the
And
stadium as well.
It sort of stuck in my mind, and yes, it was when I was thinking about having a tattoo done on my arm, and I thought "not like the others" was quite a fitting phrase,
Yeah.
because
For the only grey fan at the time.
I was not like the others.
okay.
It was generally, yes, women, and quite younger women.
Well, I remember him saying
And
to
me.
you, I think I was at a concert where he said something like, what's your name? I've noticed you a few times and you stand out because you're
The first grey
the
fan.
first grey-haired.
Oh, that was
Fan of mine. Is that right?
He knew my name by that time.
Oh, he already knew your name
he
by
said,
then?
Yeah. He said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "You were the first of my fan to go grey." He's not laughing now, is he?
No. I know
Yeah.
the feeling.
So I thought, yeah, not like the others. It didn't quite turn out like not like the others, but that's
After a few glasses of red wine in a queue.
it's a different story. Yeah. Well, yeah, that was on swings both ways.
Yeah.
Tour at Newcastle when we spent the night with crazies, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, barrier crew crazies,
Right.
really, that I was drinking with. And, one thing leads to another. And Sarah had A for Alan tattooed on her wedding ring finger, like Rob has on his
Yeah.
for Alan.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to have S. And I thought, well, that could be the S of not like the others.
Yeah.
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 And I said, but I'd listened to an interview that he did. I think it was a German station, where the interviewer said, "Do you regret any of your tattoos?" And he said, "Well, some days I regret all of them." But he said, "One I regret it was spelt wrong." And so I thought, yeah, not like the otters. That'd be good. And I told the girls, and they laughed so much, I thought, I'm doing it.
And he did.
And I did. So I've got not like the otters.
Where is your not like the otters? On your arm?
Yeah.
And, Rob did ask somebody Does it really say otters?
So did the tattooer. He also asked otters.
Yeah, otters.
Are you really sure?
Yeah, but now I am the proud owner of a beaver called Justin
Yeah.
and an otter
Called Harry P. Otter.
called Harry P. Otter.
Oh.
Do they
okay.
go to the gigs with you?
They've been all over with me.
Oh.
Been to Red Square and St. Petersburg with me. We photographed them in various positions. Yes, we've had a laugh with them.
So that song has special meaning to you.
It resonates. It resonates through the tours.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and yes, and I still stand by the fact that I'm not like the others.
Yeah.
Certainly not.
And did you approve of this, Sarah, when it was all unfolding? Or
Well, he was going to do it anyway.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. But the thing I
It's
didn't
all right.
do,
Something to talk
actually,
about.
it is good story.
Ida, when I went to Lewis Win once, I got Ida to sign my arm because we were outside. I got to sign her name right above the tattoo, and I nearly had that tattooed as well. But
Very close. You booked the appointment.
yeah, we got. Who was it? Somewhere I went to the Radio 2 gig, I think it was, and asked him, said, "What do you think about Alan getting your wife's name tattooed on your arm?" He said, "I think it's a terrible idea, so I didn't do it." I regret doing that now. I should have done it.
Then he did phone up and
it's-
cancel the appointment and
Yeah.
said, Robbie Williams doesn't think it's a good idea.
I
so
sent him the
I'm
video.
cancelling
I sent him the video. He said, "I think it's a terrible idea."
That's brilliant.
All right. Save 50 quid anyway, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
But never say never. Never say never.
So I've got a vivid memory of dancing to this song at the Etihad on the day we met you. I can just, for some reason, that particular song sticks out in my head as he was coming along the walkway, because we were on the barrier by the walkway,
Yeah.
and that song, he came past us. And I can just remember going crazy for that song.
It's funny, isn't it? How
Yeah.
just
Brilliant song
certain
live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
bits of songs just in your
Yeah.
different gigs just stick in your head, don't they?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Are there any favourite lyrics from that song for anyone?
I like the lyric. You and me, not like the others.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Especially when Dinosh is dancing on stage in front of me.
I like, you do something that reminds me the days of rage are now behind me.
Yeah.
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 Cathartic.
Yeah. Because I'm a naughty boy with a dirty habit trying to use some teenage magic. And then I think you like the next line, Matt.
Well, I wrote this down. When she comes for hours. She don't fake for no one.
No, I particularly deal with that.
That's drawn to that line. I don't know.
And I've got another misheard lyric. I'm very good at these. Apparently it says, "Let's do what we're supposed to do and all lay low." I always thought it was, "Let's do what we're supposed to do and all night long."
Right? I don't know what I thought it was, but I don't think it was either of them. I thought it was "Let's do what we're supposed to and fall in love."
Oh, that's another.
Oh, is that different?
I think
Right.
there's like different
All right.
ones where he
Yeah,
says
I
different.
think that is in it as well. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so the next song is Losers. It's a cover of a song originally released by the Bell Brigade, written by an American folk rock sibling duo from LA, Barbara Gruska and Ethan Gruska, and their granddad is multi-Oscar winning composer John Williams.
Mm.
They've released 2 albums in 2011 and 2014. And as I said earlier, Lissy sings on this with him. Robbie said, "Lissy's just absolutely amazing. She's like Stevie Nicks." He said about Losers, "I just instantly fell in love with it and instantly knew that I had to record it. It's never happened on any of the other records where I've just listened to something once and gone, that needs to be on the record. It's got such a lovely message, and it's so anti-clockwise to what I normally feel and normally think. I give in, I surrender. It really moved me and I can't wait to sing it, and I hope that the world, or at least the part of it that comes to see the show, feels the same."
And at the time he said, "I'm schizophrenic, not diagnosed, but half of me wants to fight and the other half of me wants to go, I'm done with fighting." I think you suggested that maybe it's because I didn't believe in myself enough, that I wanted to give up the fight, but I think it's the opposite. If you believe in yourself 100%, then you realise that it's coming second's okay, coming third's okay. Losers is a song that maybe I'll live in this lifetime.
And there was also an official video for this song on YouTube, which his brother-in-law Dylan directed, along with David Dinetz.
Yeah.
And it's the one where it shows him on the couch chatting in an online video chat room with strangers, and then he stands up naked at the end with his bits tucked in.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
That's the one.
And many of the people don't believe it's him, and he's there getting his tattoos out. It's me. And
yeah.
like, what is that?
I do remember that.
But I love this song. I think it's got such great vocals in it.
I just love the harmonies on this one. And just the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
Just acoustic guitar, great voices.
It was a lovely in the ballroom gigs,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it was amazing.
Because they were so intimate,
Yeah.
and just those two sitting,
Looking at
singing
each other. Yeah.
that was special.
Yeah.
It really special.
So I actually listened to the original of this,
Yeah.
the original version. And Rob's version's quite similar, but the original's got a little bit more of a folky sort of vocal sound, but
Right.
it's very, very similar. Rob's vocal adds a bit more of a rock edge to it,
Yeah.
because of his voice. And I was also quite impressed that their granddad, the original composers and singers of the song, is John Williams,
Yeah.
who composed Star Wars and Harry
That's right,
Potter
yeah.
and lots of other film scores.
I mean, do you know when I found out that this was a cover? Mm-hmm. About 2 minutes ago.
Oh,
Well, I probably did when we were doing the research.
I knew it was a
thought-
cover.
I thought it was.
You can go listen to the
But
original now.
that is my thoughts on it, that it feels like a Robbie song.
It felt very much,
and
didn't
his lyrics.
Yeah.
It feels like
It
he's written
works
it.
really
Yeah.
very, very well for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. it
And
really
one of my
does.
favourite lines in this one is, "I'm removing myself from the queue."
Right.
And I want to know if anyone has ever said that in a Robbie queue. Yeah. Has anyone ever said it in an argument? I'd like to know.
I'm removing myself from the queue.
yeah.
Well, you're not coming back.
Yeah.
You get that bloody number off your hand as well, then.
Yeah.
I'm returning my number to you, Alan. No, nobody's ever said that.
No, I doubt
Not
it.
knowingly, anyway. So we all like that song, then?
Yeah.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always know it's going to be sung because the two stools come out facing
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah. Sing losers. Yeah.
Should we move on to reverse then, Lucy?
Yeah. Okay, written by Rob, Tim and Flynn. He sung it at Under the Radar and introduced it saying, "I didn't realise this song was going to become like a Brexit song." Which he obviously doesn't mean it's not really a Brexit song. That's about all I could find out about this song.
Yeah.
Because it's an extra track,
I don't know
bonus
much
track.
about this one.
But to be honest, when he started singing it at Under the Radar and it was getting into sort of even the chorus, I was thinking, what's this one again?
Yeah.
It's not one that sticks in my head. But when I listen to it, I do really like it.
Yeah, I love the lyric, "May this moment of surrender live in your heart forever. The earth will move and shake, but they can never keep us apart."
This
Like
is
that.
also the one where he says, "It's just a bad,
Bad day,
day,
not a
not
bad
a bad
life."
life." And that is a really good
Yeah, it's
lyric.
true.
That's kind of tattoo worthy.
Yeah,
It is. Yeah.
I bet there's lots of people that have got that as a
Just a
tattoo.
bad day,
on your
not a
other
bad
arm.
life. There you go.
Yeah, and I could put where the heart should be here.
When I close my eyes, they can never keep us apart. We're in a land on fire in the middle of the sea. When I close my eyes, only you, only me. Well, I think it's just a
Some brilliant
beautiful
lyrics.
love
yeah.
song.
Yeah, really good.
Oh, it kind of made me think, because he also says the earth will move and shake, but they can never keep us apart. It kind of reminded me of that moment that Rob and Ida have both talked about where they were sat on a sofa on their first date, was it? And they said that they both felt something shift or something, like
Yeah.
the earth move.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, but something along those
The
lines.
connection, yeah.
It kind of made me wonder whether it was singing about
It was
that.
a love, what's it called?
Oh yeah, a love
What do
attack.
they call
was
it? Love attack. It was a love attack. We have those often, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alan and Sarah, can you speak about your love attacks? No, okay.
I'm worried about what you're doing in our spare bedroom.
Yeah, let's move on to 8 letters.
So 8 Letters was written by all 5 members of Take That, and J. Ure, C. Cross, and W. Can, and W. Curry. I haven't looked them up.
Nice. Good research.
But Rob says it took him 3 days to write the lyrics in his head for 8 letters while he was doing promo for Reality Killed the Video Star around Europe. So he kind of wrote this before he got back together with Take That.
Right.
Officially.
Publicly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Obviously, we all know his heart wasn't in Reality Killed the Video Star, because all he could think about was lyrics for the Take That reunion. And this is the original version that was recorded for Progress until Take That realised there wasn't enough of Gary on the album. And so they got Gary to sing the vocals for 8 letters instead. Mark liked that it came full circle so that Gary was singing Rob's story. Gary actually sung this with Robbie at the O2 on the 23rd of November, which you two were at, weren't you?
Shortly before Gary shook my hand. Did I mention that?
Did he really shake your hand?
Yeah, I did.
Great.
I do really love Rob's version, but I still love the Take That version as well.
I think you're allowed to love both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was special for us at the O2 because that was the first time we'd seen Rob and Gary back together, and obviously loving it.
Yeah.
And it was a nice moment, that.
I like both versions, but as we were researching this, I was listening to the Rob's version more. I really like Rob's version.
Yeah, it's kind of simple.
It's less produced.
Yeah.
You know, like the Gary's version is richer and there's all sorts of more going on, whereas Rob's version is just sort of his voice. You hear his voice a lot more.
I was glad that they did actually release it.
I think Rob's version worked well at the O2.
Yeah.
And
Gary's
version worked well on the Progress tour.
Yeah.
And
true.
to me, that was that's the difference between the two. One was very produced.
Yeah. And I can understand why they wanted to balance things out a bit.
Yeah.
Between the egos.
Yeah.
Well, there were a lot of Take That fans that weren't happy with any Rob on the album.
Yeah.
Not a lot of Take That fans. Some Take That fans. Not me. I was very happy to have Robbie on the Take That album. Yeah, obviously we don't really know how much Take That actually contributed to the lyrics because they're listed as co-writers, but it feels like it's more Robbie's song.
Yeah.
We never know. We'll know, will we?
No.
We will never know. I just think it's an incredible vocal when he does it. It just really suits his voice.
Yeah.
I think I prefer that version.
You prefer his version? Yeah.
I do like the other version as well, but the more I've now listened to that version, I'm just like, that's the version I would choose to listen to.
Yeah. Well, it is Robbie's story, after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Take the Crown. We've talked about all of the songs on the album, yes.
God, that was quick.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So we will just have a little talk about the ballroom shows.
So the so-called ballroom shows were to promote the upcoming album and to get him used to being solo again. On a smaller scale before committing to a stadium tour, probably. He played 10th September Leeds Academy, 11th September Glasgow Barrowland, 13th September Dublin O2 Arena and 15th September South Cliffs Pavilion. They were meant to be a trip back in time to venues he played on his first solo tour in 97. Dublin was not technically listed as a ballroom show. It was not a venue he went to in 1997. Meant to be the free gig, he promised Dublin to make up for the mess at the Close Encounters tour in Dublin when he got stuck on the lift on the stage.
Tickets were allocated through a ballot, but it had to be redrawn due to an error, meaning a smaller venue had been allocated the number for Dublin and vice versa. And we were very lucky because that redraw meant that we got our tickets to Dublin. Whereas in the first draw, we didn't have any tickets. Bonus. So we were very happy with that redraw.
Very. Thank you for the error, whoever made that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got tickets for Leeds, didn't you?
We got tickets for the Leeds gig, which was the first ballroom gig.
After doing what I'm sure most fans like us did, and entering with every email address that you could possibly...
Every family member.
Every family member.
You have to go and take me.
Yeah. And I remember it. I was in a meeting at work in a conference room, and my wife appeared at the door, looking in quite an agitated state.
crying.
Right.
So I made my excuses and left. And she said, "Oh, we've won. And I thought, what?
The lottery.
No, well, no. We got outside in the street, and vividly to this day, she said to me, "I know just how those people who win the lottery feel like now."
Well, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
There
was.
That's
That's how I
a few
felt.
tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that...
I'd have preferred the lottery.
No. But it was the first gig, the first intimate gig, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There'd been, well, the first gig for
Yeah,
years.
it was beyond.
It was our
exciting.
comeback as
it
well.
was
as
beyond
Yeah,
exciting.
comeback, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because he'd done Progress, but before that, it was Reality Killed the Video Star, which
Yeah.
he didn't really do any
Yeah.
gigs for. Before that was Close
hadn't seen- it was
Encounters, which was 2006.
2006. So it was 6 years for us.
Yeah, and for us.
It was a big event because there was film crews outside
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
venues
watching that
and-
when James met Robbie
Yeah.
thing. We saw you on it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
You're on it.
Centre stage and out the back as well.
Yeah.
I got a look north or something. I read one of the regional news programs.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
big
weren't
news.
right in front of his mic stand.
No, this was outside.
Oh, outside.
This was outside in the queue.
Oh, they were interviewing you because you were.
Because you're not like the others.
Yeah.
I wasn't like.
So
Oh,
they saw you.
I mean, that was a fun queue. Oh, I told some stories that day. Everybody said, "What are you waiting for?" so, "Oh, it was a ghost tour at 6:30.
Yeah.
It's really good." I said, "No."
And the poor bus driver that was on the loop for the bus that stopped in front of us all day.
Yeah.
Was, every time he went past, he was waving. Like, "You're still here."
I said, "We're waiting for number 49 bus." I said, "We've had everything. We've had the 33, then yeah, 40. No, we're still not there yet. No, I think it might have gone missing." I told people who were part of a performing arts.
Oh my God.
Students from the Performing Arts Centre down the road, and it was our end of term assessment and all that. I had time of my life on it.
So I just want to go back a little bit. So Sarah, were you working in the same office as Alan at the time that you appeared outside the door?
Same building.
She was my
Yeah.
secretary,
Yeah.
basically.
No, I wasn't. No.
I was just wondering whether you actually drove to his work purposely.
No,
you know.
I was in the same building, and I got the email, and I just went down 2 flights of stairs and cried and was frantically trying to get his
Superb.
attention.
And what was the gig like? I mean, we've talked about like the build up to it and the queues and
It's
everything
still
else.
probably in my top 3 gigs.
Same.
Of
Same
all
for the
time.
Dublin one.
Definitely.
Because he sung so many old songs
Yeah.
like
he
Lazy
did.
Days and
And it was the excitement of not seeing him
Yeah.
for so long. And it was so small and intimate and
Yeah.
so close.
you were way
And,
closer
yeah.
than we were in Dublin. We were in the front, but because you were in such a small venue, ours was more like an arena, really.
Yeah.
Big, a small
But,
arena.
I mean, we were very lucky to be where we were because the 5 people in front of us
Oh, so how did you end
went
up?
to it.
Scanner didn't work.
It was a ticketless gig. It was one of the very
Oh,
first
right.
ticketless gigs, and
Yeah.
you had to have the thing, and their scanner didn't work. And
Oh, so that's how
we
you
got
ended
in
up.
there, and we went,
in the
"What
centre."
do you do?" And well,
Yeah,
it was all
shit happens.
yeah. And they took it well apart from one person who really didn't take it very well at all. But
Oh dear.
it turned out fine. By the time Dublin came around, it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just had the best weekend in Dublin, didn't we?
Well, I think we were there for 2 nights.
Yeah.
I think only one night actually.
Was it one night?
Yeah, we
thought
flew.
we-
We
I thought
flew
we did
out.
2 nights.
Actually, one thing I remember when we were driving to Gatwick to get the plane, we were listening to Chris Moyle's last ever Radio 1 breakfast show on the way. Don't know why, but that sticks in my mind. And so we got like a 6 a.m. flight or something.
And
then
stayed the night of the gig.
after the gig.
Yeah.
But we kind of
That's
knew
right.
we knew because we weren't landing. We wouldn't get there till about 10, so we thought there's no point in queuing because we just won't get there in
Yeah.
time. So we had a wander around Dublin. We had some lunch,
Yeah. It seemed like we were there for a really long time.
and then we turned up about 2,
Yeah.
and there was only about 30 people in front of us.
Really.
So we got front row at the side.
It was very chilled out.
Very different.
We got there about 5 in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah, 5 or 6 in the morning.
I think a lot of the people in
6
Dublin
then.
were still out
drinking.
drinking Guinness. Or
Yeah.
They tend to do that, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah,
I remember being at the
Yeah.
Viva, and
Which one was it? The one we went to for Heavy Entertainment Show? I can't remember which stadium.
Yeah,
it
there's
was.
Aviva Stadium.
Oh, was it Aviva?
No, it wasn't
Right.
Aviva. Was it Aviva? Oh, yeah, it was.
Where they play the rugby. That's all I know.
Yeah, it was really late to fill up in there.
And
wasn't it?
even when the support was on, it was like half empty, and then they all just pile in. Hey,
Yeah. But the atmosphere is always
it's brilliant.
amazing.
Yeah, it is.
for
It's
an
really
Irish
good.
gig.
Yeah, and they're yeah.
I can remember a girl next to us handing him a present for the baby that hadn't yet arrived at that point,
Yeah.
and him taking it off her and
Isn't that the one
saying
where
how
you...
excited he was.
We were all
He had his
hoping
phone
that
in
he'd
his
hook
phone
it,
in his
right?
pocket,
Yeah.
yeah.
If this phone goes, I'm off.
Yes.
Or am I? Yeah, that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you do have a
Yeah.
phone, Robbie. We know you got one. What did Robbie say about the shows then, Lise?
Well, he said, the small live shows went really well, and it's 1997 since I played these sorts of venues. It was great to be able to get on a tour bus, because things have gone really well, so I've only been travelling in planes, my own plane, and that's amazing in itself, and never fails to be awesome, but it was nice to be getting on the coach with the band, having just played a nice sweaty gig for very appreciative people that you can see the whites of their eyes, and it was once again another indicator for me that I can do this. That I can do this at small quarters or I can do this at huge places. And it was nice getting some of the old material out, some stuff that I hadn't done since 97, album tracks off Life Through a Lens that I hadn't done in forever. And I think it was some nice nostalgia for everybody, including myself. And I have got the set list here, actually. So
Karma
he played
Killer.
Phoenix from the Flames,
Yeah.
Let Me Entertain You, Lazy Days, Let Love Be Your Energy, Karma Killer, which is one of my favourites, and I was very excited when he sang that. Old Before I Die, Monsoon, Rock DJ, which turned into Freedom, Road to Mandalay, Eternity, that was a good moment as well. Come Undone, She's the One.
Hold on a
Wow,
minute.
I think we need to pause there.
Because that was a
Tell us
somebody.
about that, Alan.
They started the intro and he went, hold on a minute, hold on. He says, I want to dedicate this song to somebody.
He's listened to it a few times, obviously, hasn't he?
I have it on my phone. And and so he dedicated it to. Is this your wife's?
Hopefully he pointed to the right lady next to you.
Yeah.
Is this your wife's? And my wife didn't have a lot to say.
Yeah,
she just
imagine
sort of went
that.
into
I
this
do
sort
remember
of jelly.
what I said afterwards. Do you remember what I said?
I remember what you said afterwards, but during the song, I think that was my, when I first really connected with the Nosh and Sarah Jane, because they were just laughing their heads off. I was stood like, looking like, yeah. Well, they stared into my wife's eyes and sang her She's the One.
Oh, so Robbie stared into your eyes. And,
And
On his
he
knee.
to speak.
on
He
his
got
knee.
on his knee. He got
Oh.
on
Yeah,
his
he did,
knee
yeah.
held
And he
hand.
ignored you.
For a bag of
Alan.
minstrels, can I just say?
Oh, okay.
And he did. Yes, he said. He said,
But it did turn
You're losing
into
her.
Alan
You're
with
losing her, Al.
blue
You're
eyes.
losing her.
How was it for you,
Shrugging
Sarah?
my shoulder.
Yeah, good.
Just
Yeah.
good.
And at the end of the song, she turned around to me and she said, you know I love you, Alan. She said, you know I really love you. She says,
This is
I
true.
love you more than Robbie Williams. She says, just not right now.
Classic there.
This is true.
It is
Okay.
true,
I love that line.
I let her off.
yeah.
I let her off because Rob said, and you, Al, with your beautiful blue eyes.
Ooh.
That's because, Alan, you were in love with him at that point as well.
I fell a little bit in love with him that
Yeah.
night, I must
A
admit.
little bit of a man crush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
He was nothing but a gentleman to us
Yeah.
that night. It was lovely, and I mean, ever since he's never been anything but a gentleman to us.
What a lovely story.
We'd seen him outside because Sarah, I clocked the driver come and they come and scoped out where they're going to bring in that sort of.
Alan has a night for these things.
Had a little chat with him, you all right, mate, and a bit of a laugh. And so when we realised he was going to arrive, we thought, we'll just sneak round. And do we actually see him?
Yeah.
do we
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
saw
came
it
out.
on
He came
video.
down. He came down the line. We were
You got his autograph, didn't you?
no.
Oh.
No,
But I saw
but
you.
we saw him. Didn't
Yeah,
we?
it was- yeah,
And I
shook
think
his
you.
hand, I think.
Oh,
you
right.
shook his
Sarah just
hand
had a quick snog.
and And Sarah said to me, she said, she said, I could go home now and be happy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
That's it
I've
then.
queued
That
up
was
all
all the
day
time
this. I'm not going home, I'm going in there. And then that happened with She's the One, and it was just
Wow.
lovely.
What a moment.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
It was the first time I met Carrie. Because we were stood right in front of his auto
And
queue.
for those of you,
The auto
those
queue was right.
people that don't know who's Carrie,
Carrie is, he looks after, I think he looks after us, really.
he does do a very good
think he
job.
does
of
like
looking
He's
after us.
security.
Front of
He's
house security,
and
isn't he?
he's
Lovely man.
He's customer focused.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
He tries to keep the queue safe. That's
Yeah.
what he tries to do by not getting us to queue too early. So
Yeah.
we have fun. No, he's lovely. But because we were stood right next to the auto queue, he said, it was, he said, don't cover it up,
because you were almost
So-
like on the stage, weren't
No,
you?
Yeah, there was no.
I immediately covered it
There was
up.
no gap really. The
thought that was the
stage.
case. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It does sound as though you're right on the
Yeah,
stage.
Yeah, it was. It's the
Yeah, we're
closest
close.
we've ever been.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's tiny.
Because even when we went to the Heart gig together, the gap between the barrier and the stage
There was-
was minuscule, but there
Yeah.
was still a gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was.
Yeah,
I mean,
Lisa's note,
literally, when Rob knelt down at the end of the set on the stage,
It was here,
It was.
Wow.
He just had hold of hand. It was like.
So,
yeah, it was a special gig that I really,
Yeah.
really stand out. And the thing I realised quite early on that Rob was paying a lot of attention to the middle of the side balcony, and now I know it was his dad. And I think that was the first time for a long time. Well, it was the first time anyway, but I think it was a long time since his dad had come to a gig, and I think that was a very special moment between them.
Yeah.
And to see it
Yeah.
close up and to see, I mean, it was, yeah. I'm like that.
Good old Pete.
I see an awful lot of photographs of me at
Not
gigs.
looking at Robbie.
Yeah,
I'm
looking
not looking
anywhere
at
else. Yeah.
I was looking at my
Have you done any undercover work at any point, Alan?
No, I
You seem
haven't,
to
but
be, you scan rooms pretty well. You see what people are up to.
Yeah. Like,
Not that you can tell us of, obviously.
no, I'd have to kill you, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Karma killer. What else did he sing then after She's the One? And that's
Who cares?
and what an amazing moment. Yeah, who
I don't
cares what
remember
else
any
he's
of
saying?
it.
That was
Didn't
it. You
you
can't
two
remember anymore.
Also have She's the One as your
he
wedding
did losers.
We did.
song as well, which makes that even more
Yeah.
special. That he
Yeah,
did
it was
the
that
Yeah,
song
yeah.
before. And,
The wedding was before that gig, wasn't it?
2009. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
So after She's the One, he went on to sing Feel, Hot Fudge, another one of your favourites.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Not
Hot
that time.
Fudge.
No?
No,
Candy, Kids, Life Through a Lens, Angels, and Losers. So it only included 2 new songs, Candy and Losers.
I think that was what was special about that concert. Was
Yeah.
all the old songs
Yeah.
that you hadn't heard for so
And I don't
long.
think we were expecting that.
We weren't.
No.
We weren't. I
No.
think that was the thing that surprised us the most.
I mean,
It
when
was
he
just-
played Karma Killer, I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe he's playing this again. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're nearly there, but just before we go, each of us is going to pick our favourite song from the album, which we're going to put on a playlist and we'll publish on RobbieWilliamsRewind.com, so you can all have a listen. So, Lucy, what are you going to pick?
I think my favourite's got to be Gospel.
Gospel, yeah.
Just because of mainly the lines at the end, which are some of my favourite of his lyrics.
Mm-hmm. Sarah?
Mine is Be a Boy. And again, it's about the lyrics and it's they said it was leaving me. I don't think so. And I think it was just him coming back with that album, him walking into HMV before we got that album.
Mm-hmm.
It's just special, yeah.
Yeah. Good memories.
And Alan, what are you picking?
well, before, if you'd have asked me at the start of this podcast, whatever we're calling it, I would have said, not like the others, mainly because I've got a tattoo indelibly on my arm forever. And it was a special part of the tour. But just when we've been talking there, and I thought about Losers, and Yeah, the Ballroom Show and the O2. And I think I picked Losers now.
Losers. Great song.
But now I'm going to go and listen to it again.
Okay.
Matt, what are you picking?
I think I picked Into the Silence. I've just got an amazing memory of that from Under the Radar
Under
and
the
Dress
Radar
Rehearsal.
gigs, yeah.
Just, incredible song.
It's like a fan song. Like,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
a song
I think
for
it is.
fans.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
So we'll say thank you to Alan and Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
They will be on the next episode as well. So
Yeah.
That'll be after you've done the washing up.
So we'll see them on the next episode. In the meantime, thanks for listening. The next one will be talking about the B-sides from the singles from Take the Crown. And we'll talk about the gigs at the O2 and the stadium tour for Take the Crown.
Yeah.
And Alan and Sarah have got some fantastic stories to tell from that as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, we've got some fun. Yes, some stories. Well, they're fantastic.
We've got all
some
day
stories.
tomorrow to record that.
Well,
so, you know.
Yeah.
So thank you both for joining us.
It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Lucy.
So, just before we wrap up this episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out. And also, Lucy and I would really appreciate it if you can leave us a star rating. You can do this on both Apple and Spotify podcasts. We would also love it if you could write us a short review, and you can do this on Apple. Don't forget, you can check out our episode notes for each episode and links to all tracks and videos at robbiewilliamsrewind.com. You can also email us at email@robbiewilliamsrewind.com. Please also follow and chat on our social channels. It's at RewindRobbie on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And you can also like and follow our Facebook page, Robbie Williams Rewind. And before we return to this episode, you might also consider sending us one of your own Robbie stories for the show. Just record a short audio clip on your phone and email it to us. Please check the website for more details. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
And also some bonus content for you this week. Stay tuned for some hilarious outtakes after the final jingle, where I struggled to say the name Tej Olsen or Todd Tej. My co-presenter and special guests kind of found this quite amusing, causing me to get the giggles, and it was a very difficult part of the show to record. So we all agreed we would share that with you. So enjoy that outtake. So thanks for listening.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye, Alan and
Bye.
Sarah.
Bye.
Bye, both of
Bye.
you.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So Candy was written by Rob, Gary Barlow. Oh, God, how do you say that name?
I don't know.
Gary Barlow.
Terge. Terje.
Oh, sorry.
Well, how do you say that? Tej Olsen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Turge Olsen. You have to say it with an accent.
Say it again.
Turge Olsen.
So let's move on to Candy, written by Rob, Gary Barlow, and Tej
Turge
Olsen. Thank you.
Some other guy. Rob Gary and another geezer. Someone that just...
I'll start that again.
yeah.
So,
Don't say a word.
should we move on to Candy now then, Lucy?
Yeah.
Written by Rob, Gary Barlow and Tej Olsen, it was the first single to be released on the 29th of October 2012. Tej Olsen, known as Todd Tej, is a Norwegian...
They just call him... Why can't we just call him Todd? Gary, Rob and Todd. Just go for that.
Okay, right. You can tell this is highly rehearsed, can't you? Right, let's try that again. Tej Olsen, known as Todd Tej, is a Norwegian DJ. So, I can't get this.
Are you sure that's right? Are you sure that's not just a spelling mistake? Todd Turge. He's not called Todd Turge.
Not, but it's not. Yeah, Turge. So, right, let me get
I'll
this
never
line
forget
out.
this. Never,
Let me
ever.
get this line out. Okay. Tej.
Olsen. Todd. Tej.
Right. Tej Olsen, known as Todd Tej, is a Norwegian DJ, songwriter, and record. I can't do it when you're pissing yourself laughing.
You're not helping you, Tim.
I know, I can't help it. Sometimes when I start, I can't stop.
Oh, dear.
Should we move on to candy?
Yeah, let's talk about candy. I'll talk about candy.
Go on.
No doubt.
Well, I need to be able to
Holidays.
read, that's all.
I've got to better read. I can't
Right,
read.
come on
So,
now.
Right.
Serious.
Tej
Get
Olsen.
this done.
I'm probably not even
Tej.
saying it right.
Tej.
Right.
I think I'm going to
your
go
mouth
for
I'm here.
Candy.
Okay.
There.
That's
So-
perfect.
So let's move on to Candy, written by Rob, Gary Barlow, Tej Olsen. It was the first single to be released. Oh, God, this is going.
That was brilliant, that. Until you
It was
laughed.
fine.
You're not having any more of that.
Sorry.
Right, we'll go through it now.
I thought giving you a break. Oh.
Robbie Williams Rewind.